Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very exciting edition of Podium Picks. Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez here, being joined by another solid guest today. It's going to be a good draft, as we're going to draft famous pairs. And to help us do that, we bring in Pat Vellner. Pat, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing
feeling
fantastic.
Strong over here.
Okay, I see. This is what scares me about Pat. I feel like he's done his research. He's going to be prepared.
Pat's got this analytical mind in that sees just kind of a slightly different angle that gives him an in. You're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Yes.
And I'm kind of curious, because I feel like us Americans, we think we're the center of everything, and Canada just kind of sits back and can kind of pick us apart. I feel like you might take that approach to the draft and just chop us down at the knees.
Yeah, Canada's a beautiful country, man. I've been there a couple of times. Love it. Okay, so let's talk about what we're doing today. Let's talk about the rules. So we're doing famous pairs. Now we have decided we have to pick one from the sporting world, one from the world of sports, one from movies, one from music, one from food, and then a wild card. So anything goes. It's got to be a pair, though, a duo of something. So as is customary here on Podium Picks, Pat, we let our guest decide where he or she wants to draft. So you get to pick if you want to go first, second, or third. Now, if you go first, since it's a snake draft, just to clarify, 4 are coming off the board before it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So we will let you decide where you want to pick, and then Tommy and I will flip
as is customary
for the other position.
I've done enough fantasy sports. I understand the snake draft. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. You know what though? I don't know if we're gonna have much overlap in these.
Okay.
I feel like the categories are pretty wide, and I'm also, I've got like a different cultural national allegiance here, so I might have some picks that people don't even know about. I'll go second.
Ooh, second is good. Okay, so now Tommy will flip. Do I have to call this?
You got to call in the air. Heads is the colored side. Tails is the bear steel.
All
yes.
Right. Take heads.
It is heads.
Ooh,
so
man.
You get the choice, Sean.
Okay.
First or third.
So I've gone third both weeks, and I lost last week. Tommy was the winner last week because he is pandering to the crowd.
Oh, come on. I picked movies that I love because of the soundtrack.
Oh man. No, all right.
Hey,
I would say my list is objectively better, but yours was more popular.
Sean, it's a younger crowd.
That's what I'm saying.
Although I did get Forrest Gump, so
that's a good point. That was that kind of wonderful. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go first.
Ooh,
I'm gonna pick first. So Pat will then go second. Tommy, you will be third.
Okay.
So
the wraparound pick.
Let's.
I just want to ask: has the guest ever won?
No, the guest is.
It was close.
It was close week 1.
Yeah.
We didn't factor in all the mail-in ballots and all the absentee ballots. I feel like I won.
Look, it's your guys' audience, so I mean, it makes sense. I feel like I'm punching up here. This is
based off the just the comment section. Hepner won, but we had some other mail-in ballots that swung it in Sean's favor. Going forward, I think we're just going to count the comments, the comments, and So the last week I kind of won in a landslide, but So you got a good chance. You got a good chance.
Humble brag.
Yeah, got to take them when I can.
I'm contesting that one. Okay, so Tommy and I are tied right now at 1 apiece. Okay, so we're going greatest pairs. All right, so I'm going first. We're going to kick this thing off. Now I feel like I picked first because I don't know if this one's going to be on if it ever got back to me. So I got to go. I'm going to go movies first.
Ooh. Oh, there's one.
I'm going to movies first, and I have to pick this one. I have to.
Yeah.
I got to pick Han and Chewie.
Damn it.
That's like the top. I mean, there's a lot of good on-screen duos. There you go. Do it. That's Tommy's doing. That's a good Wookiee, man. So I'm going to pick Han and Chewie. They are look, I hurt myself by not taking Star Wars last week, let them off my list with the soundtracks. So I have to put them in the draft this time. There is no better on-screen duo from my generation than the two guys who sat in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, Han Solo and Chewbacca. You can't beat it, Tommy.
I am wearing Chewbacca socks as we speak.
Ooh.
that was gonna I was gonna give clue to my 1-1 pick if I got the first pick.
You could have got. Oh well.
I mean, you got to choose.
Yeah,
I mean,
did get to choose. Yeah,
I can't hate the pick. They're iconic. I think it's even the fact that they're that high, considering you can't even understand what one of them says, is amazing. It just goes to show you the play that Chewie and Harrison Ford have in the movies.
Yeah, and they. I mean, it was. While I was not a fan, I shouldn't say a fan. I was disappointed in the latest 3, episode 7, seeing them coming back through the door in the Millennium Falcon. It gets you a little emotional, especially when Han says, "Chewie, we're home."
Yep,
you know, it's just
100%.
It's good stuff. So that's I'm kicking it off with the movie category, Han and Chewie.
Pat, did they watch Star Wars in Canada?
We just got it actually. Oh, we just got episode 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so,
awesome. Congratulations, enjoy that. You're gonna like it.
Yeah. Predictable pick from Sean, but
yeah,
good pick.
Yep.
Good pick.
All right, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go to a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my favorite all-time movies, and what I think is maybe the most quotable movie of all time, Dumb and Dumber. We're gonna go.
That was number 2.
Lloyd Christmas.
That was my wild card, man.
Those are
Harry Dune and Lloyd Christmas. You gotta love the boys. That's like all time. Plus, Jim Carrey, great Canadian. And yeah, that's just like what Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey did in that movie is just like it echoes in eternity. I probably quote that movie once a day.
I wasn't the biggest Jim Carrey fan, when he was in his heyday, but when that movie came out, I was like, that was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
It's like, you're right, Pat. It's one of the most quotable movies ever. I mean, I literally in movies, my 1-2 were those 2 picks.
Same here.
I had them. So I'm probably going to quote it a ton, this weekend. Cause I'm going to be in the cold. So, the glove, Aspen, it's I mean, everything, the like, he must work out line. I mean, it's killer.
It's the little things. It's the little ones.
It's fantastic. I can't hate those picks. Those are
Pat's heads are falling off.
Pretty bird.
When I saw that in the theater, I had my buddy John, a guy I played hockey with. I laughed for like 20 minutes at that part, with like hysterically on the floor. Like, oh God, so bad.
I mean, the phrase "and totally redeem yourself."
Yeah, it's from that movie.
I mean, it's universal now.
And the best is the way that it ends, and you're like, they're finally gonna get their, as the town is that way.
Yeah. Pardon my friend, he's a little slow.
So
we'll get our chance. We just gotta keep our eyes open.
Yeah. All right, Tommy.
Right.
So
it's all time.
I can't hate that.
Back-to-back picks here for Tommy Marquez.
Okay, I got back-to-back. So I'm going to start with my sports.
That's probably wise.
One.
I know where you're going with this. I'm going to type it out right now.
Yeah. So as a diehard Laker fan, I can't not have this as my sports pick. And one could argue that when you're ranking the top athlete pairings in a given sport, as a pair, they're the 2 highest ranking teammates of all time when you consider them individually on the list.
Now I'm curious to see which one you're going with.
So I know which one he's going with.
So I'm going to go with Kobe and Shaq.
Yes, that's what
I think. Really?
Yeah,
I was the I thought you were going to go Magic and
Kareem.
I'm with you, Pat. Yes.
So I think Magic Kareem was tough because technically they have more titles. They got 5, but I think
that's why when you said by the numbers, I was like, oh yeah, I think he's going to go that way.
I don't think Magic is as high on people's all-time lists in that regard because of the longevity of his career, because his career wasn't as long as it could have been. Obviously there's the HIV thing, but when you talk about 1-2 punch, let me paint you a picture here. Western Conference Finals, Game 7, Lakers versus the Portland Jail Blazers. 1 minute left. Scottie Pippen misses a 3 that would have brought them within 1. They have the ball. Kobe Bean Bryant shakes Pippen with a classic crossover, attacks the lane. Brian Grant, Rasheed Wallace slide to help. Bryant lofts it up into the heavens, only for Shaq to bring the house down on one of the best playoff alley-oops of all time. I mean, you want to talk, the phrase boom shakalaka could have been used there over and over.
I hate it.
And, Shaq just throws it down, game, blouses. I mean, and that set off a 3 straight run title. Unfortunately, Sean, I know it knocked the Kings out of it. It was tough.
Because that referee, that Tim Donaghy was part of that game. Where the Kings got totally jammed.
Yeah, so. And it is what it is. They won 3, and I think that was one of those ones you look back, you're like, oh my gosh, it was their star power was too big to be in the same thing for long. But when
They
it
didn't
was
like each other.
3 straight, I mean, and even after the fact, their dynamic was firepower, right? Like Kobe's last game, which I got to go to, I'll never forget it. Shaq hits him up before the game on live TV and goes, hey man, I want you to get 50 for me. Kobe goes and drops 60 and they're jawing back and forth. And, you know, it was all love at the end of it. So
all right,
I
next, enough of the Laker love.
All right.
All right. I'll take that. That's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
They were on my short list.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go national.
It's my pick.
Tommy gets another one.
Oh, you get double. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Whoa. Jumping the line here. You know,
also, I didn't know we could jump categories. I thought we had to fill one category before we went out. So this is good for me to know.
Yeah.
Yep. I am gonna go. Oh, this is tough. I got sports. You guys got your movies out, so I feel like there's more. I just didn't feel like there's not a whole lot of depth in sports, but I had to grab my movie one.
You don't think there's depth in sports?
I don't think there's as much depth as in other places.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
I would have gone movies, but you guys both went, so I'm going to switch it up here.
All right.
I'm going to take my music, and there's 2 that I'm thinking here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with. I got to go with my heart. Yeah.
Come on now. Think about what the fans are going to like.
No, it's not. There's 2 that I'm like torn between.
Yeah, there's a couple good ones.
Musically for me. I'm going to go with Outkast.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that was my number 1.
I mean, I think Andre 3000, you know, and Big Boy, they were kind of, you came out of the 90s like some of that gangster rap at West Coast, East Coast thing. And the way they put like Atlanta in the South, that like Southern, because you had Master P and like New Orleans and that kind of area and that the Cash Money stuff, but something about Outkast and their scene, it had this kind of, I don't know, it's like this velvet sheen to it. It's like those guys were smooth. They could just flow. They could produce like some hard hitting like lyrics for people like that were really hardcore hip hop heads. And then they drop an album like Stankonia that has, you know, breakthrough commercial success and has everyone, you know, rapping along to their lyrics. They even got out there a little bit with that 2-part album that, like, you know, basically featured each artist kind of independently. Andre 3000 is probably going to go, you know, top 10 rappers of all time in terms of hip hop MCs. And I just think Outkast, when there's a song that everybody can kind of hum in their head, at least, no matter what, whether it's, you know, Miss Jackson, Bombs Over Baghdad, whether it's, I mean, you name them. They have a ton of hits. And I think a lot of people just respect like the coolness of Outkast.
I got to interview Andre 3000 once.
Really?
Yeah, it's part of the. I got to go for to LA for part of the press junket for Semi Pro.
Oh,
he's a small man.
Yeah,
good dude though. He's a good interview.
Downtown Funky Malone has changed his name to Coffee Black.
Yeah, and he takes the ball and throws it forcefully in a downward motion through the hoop. First dunk.
Yep.
All right. Okay, Pat, you're up.
All right, good pick. Outkast was my number 1 in music. Very well done. Let's see. I'm gonna go. I'll stay in music. I don't have a lot of music duos.
All right.
I'm gonna go White Stripes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. And to be honest, like I feel like Tommy gave a very in-depth analysis of his pick, and I don't have the same information on the White Stripes. But I think likewise, though, they're a very simple band, like 2-piece band, made like really cool music, very iconic for their era, very like I feel like stuff like Seven Nation Army, like Icky Thump, stuff like that, everybody just knows. And they were kind of this like low drag, like, just a 2-piece, like very minimalist type band that made really cool music, really great music. So, and I know Jack White's like a very impressive artist. And then, them being a husband and wife duo too is pretty cool. So they're my pick.
That's a good one.
I will say Seven Nation Army is an all-time that's
an anthem. That's an anthem.
Oh, yeah.
It's a sports anthem too.
Absolutely.
100%.
For sure.
Man. All right. So it's back to me now for my back-to-back picks.
That's kind of
so. All right. What do I want to do here? So both of you guys have knocked out your music, so I can wait on that. So I'm going, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go food.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the food category.
I have a feeling I think I know where you're going.
And I'm going to go burger and fries.
I knew it.
Burger and fries, man, is the greatest food combination everywhere, anywhere. I mean, and of all time, because you can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner, you could have it for breakfast if you want. And it's just if you go to a restaurant and you don't know what to order, like to say, there's nothing that looks good. Give me the burger and the fries, and I'll be just fine. And you can have sweet potato fries. You can have whatever you want with your burger, but you can have it at any level. You can have like a nice full service, sit down restaurant. Burger and fries is going to be great. You can go through the drive-through at your local McDonald's. Burger and fries is going to get the job done, Tommy. It is the 5-tool player of the food pairing world. So burger and fries is where I'm going to go for my food pick.
It's a starting left tackle. It's gonna anchor a Pro Bowl line for the next 10 years on your team. You know the blind side is covered for your quarterback. I knew Sean was going to take it because
am I that predictable?
Well, and when we were out in Colorado, you had a burger and fries for every meal.
Dude, it was so good. We only had like 2 meals.
Yeah, we had 2 non-breakfast meals, and both of them were burger and fries. So
but they were good burgers and fries. But then you can vary it up. You can get like a turkey burger and fries, a bison burger and fries, a beef burger and fries. You can get a veggie burger and fries. I don't care. Just get a burger and fries.
It's a long iron off the tee. You may not drive the green and one, but you're going to be in the fairway. You're going to be hitting from the short stuff, and you'll be in good shape.
Okay, so now where do I go next? I think I got to go to sports. All right, so this is tough. There's 3 here that I feel like I don't want to copy Tommy. Jeez, maybe I should go from my era. You know what? There's a couple on here I really want to pick. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am not a gigantic basketball fan, but I can appreciate greatness. And in my era growing up, Magic and Kareem were a little early for me. I was at the end of that sort of run. But I think, to me, you're not going to get a better duo than Jordan and Pippen. And I think Michael Jordan was the first mega sports star that I can remember. And he was... he was like, again, I wasn't a huge basketball fan growing up, but I had the Air Jordans. I had the Airwalk poster in my room. I had the Sports Illustrated Michael Jordan poster of him dunking. He was an icon. Everyone wanted to be like him. When you would go out and play, Nerf hoop or lower the hoop, you'd always want to be Michael Jordan with that cradle dunk that he did. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He used to always try to do that. He and Scottie Pippen, they were just dominant with the Chicago Bulls. And that's what always bothered me when you play NBA Jam, is that Michael Jordan wasn't on there and you couldn't have Jordan and Pippen because you just would have dominated the game. Yep. So I think just for more than their sports impact, I think for their pop culture impact as well on my generation growing up, like everybody owned Chicago Bulls jerseys. Everybody.
That was the first time I felt like it was universally acceptable to buy a jersey that wasn't your team's. Yeah. Because everyone's just like, oh, okay, Jordan. Yeah.
All right. So that's my sports pick. So now we go back to Pat. So we'll close out round. So here's what we'll do. We'll do your first pick at the end of round 3, and then we'll do our podium.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Pat, you're up.
Good pick, Sean.
Thank you.
Burger and fries, always my post competition. Find the greasiest burger I can, polish that. Love it. And yeah, I feel like you guys have obviously watched the Last Dance documentary.
Some of it, yes.
Oh yeah.
You haven't watched all of it?
I haven't seen it, no.
Oh my God.
Live TV.
What's wrong with you?
Down. Yeah. It's called being a dad.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, fair. Anyways, that I mean, I was young during that era, obviously, but watching all that stuff is pretty incredible. I'm I'm gonna go into the wild card, I think.
Ooh, okay.
It's a deep drawer, but I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna take Batman and Robin.
Nice
Okay,
job.
all right, yeah.
That's a good one.
Just, I mean, come on. How do you not? Like, that's like I feel like of all the superhero things, and now we're in this era of like tons of superhero movies and media and everything. It's just like, that's the original as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And like Batman's just a regular dude. So it was always, anybody could be Batman, right? Yeah, regular, really rich dude. But anyway, it was Batman was like the shit. So Batman and Robin, I just feel like as a kid was like the superhero and like the toy and like the TV show and like the everything. So, and like look at how many different iterations we've seen and how it's always just the shit. So
it's the savior of DC.
Yes, but totally. that movie, the movie version of Batman and Robin,
yeah. But
not a good film.
I loved the political like jostling between you and your friends. If you were like play pretending, and you're like, I get to be Batman. You're like, no, you got to be Robin this time. They're like, no, I want.
No one ever wanted to be Robin.
I know, but still,
that's like playing Star Trek and being stuck on life support. Like, what fun is that?
It's a great pick. I mean, when you talk about like a dynamic duo, it's like Batman and Robin. The master and apprentice type situation. It's got all the things. I will say, Sean, the thing about Jordan, he made last second shots like the fadeaway jumper for the win. Everyone recreated that in their driveway.
Yes.
Good pick.
Yeah, the thing about even the Batman and Robin duo here, like it's fairly representative of all these duos. Like I feel like there's always one member who's carrying the load, There's like there's the main event and then the supporting staff always.
Yep.
Very, very hard to find ones that are like even across both, right?
Totally.
Yeah. So anyway, Batman and Robin is my third pick.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm liking Pat's list here.
Yeah.
It's a strong.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna go food here.
Okay.
And you took my number one.
Of course I did.
There's another pick that's kind of obvious, but if I'm talking about, I think about what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is, you and the crew and good times and no responsibilities. And, you're chopping it up with the homies. And for me, the food pairing that always kind of lets us know that we're in that moment is wings and beer.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So you get you get a big old plate of wings, you get a pitcher of beer, and it's either Friday, it's either Sunday football, or it's our biannual Lord of the Wings competition that we did in college every year when your boy would take down a 50 spot. God. And that's just one of those ones where like, you're throwing caution to the wind because you're going to get wing sauce all over your fingers. You're going to be, you're going to come home smelling like a brewery, but you know what? You're going to wake up that next morning and you're like, man, that was an awesome time with the dudes.
Yeah. Beer.
It's an experience. It's more than a food.
It is. And it's just like, I think about some of my favorite times, like just whether it's sports or just hanging out or a party or anything like that. Even our competition, our Lord of the Wings competition, you'd have to go to a thrift store and buy a thrift store jersey.
Okay.
And then we would show up at this place that served like wings by the 100. And whoever took down the most was
the Lord
winner.
Of the Wings.
Yes.
Okay. So. Well, that's the end of round 3. So that means we're going to take a quick break. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to talk about our Whoop podium as we do every week. Now we have decided, since we are at the very beginning of February 1st, when this is going to be released, we're going to look back on the month of January and our top recoverers for the month of January.
Yes. The top people who took care of their recovery for the month of January, our top 10 overall. This is the average recovery score across all of the opening of 2021. Number 1, Gina DeLucia, 80%. Number 2, Mary Ford, 75%. Number 3, Christy Hesprick, 75%. Number 4, Christina Wilson, 75%. Anusin Bunke. He's the one who brought us the table, if you remember, at the
campground
in Madison. So appreciate it, brother. 75%. Jacob Larson, 74% in sixth. Philip Atkins, 74%. Anders Malm, Life of Malm, the photographer, 74%. Patty Zerdick, 74%. And last but not least, fulfilling my last pick, Edward Beer, 73%. Number 10. I was way down the list at 65%, but all of them in the green, all of them above 73% or higher for the month of January, getting their recovery off on the right foot to start 2021.
All right. Congratulations to our Whoop podium. Now back to the draft as we kick off round 4. Tommy, you are up next with your second of your back-to-back picks here.
Okay. So all I have left is my miscellaneous
and movies.
And my movies. And I kind of want to go movies because I feel like my miscellaneous is going to be, and since I can talk about there's a couple, I have 3 on my list, and they're from different eras of my life.
Okay.
There's a young one where I was a little chitlin. I have one where it's like, college age. And there's another one where I was like youthful growing up. And I gotta go that middle one. I'm gonna go Doc and Marty from
That's
Back
a good
to the
one.
Future.
Oh, nice.
I'll once we do go through our honorable mentions, I'll review my other ones as well. But Doc and Marty, I just think about they were such a cult of personality that they spawned another parody of that, which I won't go into yet. That is now very popular.
Yeah.
So I will save that one for later. But Doc and Marty, Back to the Future 2. We won't talk about Back to the Future 3. But just that pairing of the eccentric, like kind of the not the father figure, but like the mentor figure, but a little off the wagon, and then the kind of grounding, neophyte that also brings something to the table. And I love the Back to the Future movies.
They're fantastic.
I think, as a kid, I resonated with Marty. Who didn't want that hover skateboard growing up?
Awesome.
And who also didn't, every time you see a DeLorean maybe pop by on the right, you just kind of look at it and you're like, I wonder.
Yeah.
And
does that thing go 88 miles an hour?
Yeah, exactly. So that Doc and Marty is my second pick on the wraparound.
All right.
movies.
So now we're back to Pat for his 4th pick.
Like the Doc and Marty. Michael J. Fox, another great Canadian.
That's a good point. Yes, he is.
Good point. Yeah.
So I have sports and food.
I feel like there's one you gotta grab.
And I know what you're thinking. However, I have one that's like, I think is also super impressive. And I don't go with it in the end. I'm going to mention it because it deserves mentioning. I'm going to do food though, because I feel like actually you guys have both done both those categories anyway.
Yes, we have.
I'll go food. So similar but different to Tommy's reasoning. I'm going to pick bacon and eggs as my food pairing. And I feel like, for one thing, breakfast is a meal you can eat any time of the day. Like people do all day breakfast. Like breakfast for dinner, for some reason, just feels like a luxury. And like, what better breakfast staple than bacon and eggs? And also, like Tommy was saying, I went through a lot of years of university, and I had a lot of runaway evenings where you wake up in the morning and you just need a little grease in your body, and like it was just comfort, right? And you sit with your friends and you just have some greasy bacon and eggs, and you'd like sort of regale the evening and say, yeah, all right, it was good. It was just like it was those moments, right, that were encapsulated in those bacon and eggs at like a diner somewhere. So yeah, love it. Gotta go with bacon and eggs.
That's a good one.
I love that one. I love the term runaway evenings. I'm going to start using that.
That was a runaway evening. What would what is the hour at which you come home for it to qualify as a runaway evening?
It's probably not the evening anymore, Sean.
It's the next morning is what you're saying.
That's the euphemism, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. You just know if you've gotten into one, and things got away from you a little bit. You just kind of look at each other and you're like, yeah, okay. That one,
man.
things got out of hand there.
That's all right. That's I'll make sure to keep that in mind next time I'm flirting with a runaway evening, which probably won't happen anytime soon, but you never know. Okay.
Hey, never say never.
That's right. Now it's my final 2 picks here. So I got to go music and I got to go wild card. So it really doesn't matter what order I go in. And I feel like, oh boy, I don't know, music wise. I know there's one up there that I should take, but I think it would be a little disingenuous of me because I'm not really a big fan. I shouldn't respect the talent of each one, but I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I want to do here? I gotta think about what the people are gonna like too. So maybe I'll go back. Here's what I'll do. I'll go back to, and again, I was not, and I regret this, growing up, like in high school, I was kind of a one genre type of guy with as far as music goes, and I didn't really branch out. And every now and then you would hear something, you're like, oh, maybe I should listen to this. Now, the duo I'm about to name here, I don't think was, I would call it a gateway to a wider, to more types of this music. It's like you kind of like got you into it. It wasn't what you would consider, it was pretty vanilla, but it got you in.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm going to take DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's
nice.
And that I feel like I remember Parents Just Don't Understand. Remember that song?
Yeah.
That was a big one. What was like Summertime was another one.
Summertime.
There's a couple more that I know I'm leaving out, but I can remember like vividly in high school, we used to listen to this thing called the radio. And we didn't have the MP3 player or the compact discs, Tommy. We had the radio, and we used to hear a lot of the DJ Jazzy Jeff on the radio and the Fresh Prince. I was like, oh, this is kind of a good jam. I wouldn't admit that publicly because that would have ruined my reputation as like a
metalhead.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to go DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And then you look at what Will Smith was able to do later in his career, branching out. So yeah, I'm going to go DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So that's my music pick. Now for my wild card, that wide open again, I could go to any category. I'm going to go with what I think might be one of the greatest duos of all time. And one, if you grew up in my era,
I think I know where you're
going. When this happened, your head kind of exploded because you didn't think that there was any way this was going to happen. So I'm going to pick the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. When those two got together, kids everywhere were like, this is the greatest thing ever. The two guys, these guys came together. They had a Mega Powers shirt and they did that handshake. Brother, and they got in there, they did the thing, and it was awesome. It was the great. They had Mega Powers with Elizabeth, and they were rivals forever. And they finally came together, and it was just
electric.
It was. I mean, I don't know if there's been anything. It'd be how do I describe it? It's I don't know, man. What would it be like? I don't know, like LeBron and who's his big rival coming together?
I mean, it kind of rotates from year to year. I feel like it would almost be like, it's hard to describe now because I don't think there's like such a clear number. I would say in hockey it would have been like Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby.
Ooh, that's a good
together.
One. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like because they were so very much like the two-pronged face of the sport for a while.
So Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, we're just name a better wrestling duo. The Mega Powers, Tommy.
I know
the Mega.
You can't beat the Mega. That means a great name. I remember when that. I remember like when I was finally old enough to realize what had happened, and it's. Oh man, this is the second Mega Powers conversation we've had this week because we talked about it 2 days ago.
That's kind of what put it in my head, to be honest with you. So, all right. So I'm closing out with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince and the Mega Powers. All right. So now we're back to Pat for his final pick.
All right. I got sports. Okay. So, yeah, I'll go nationalistic on this one, which is probably exactly what Sean expects. So I'm going to do Gretzky-Messier.
Yes, absolutely. You do that.
Yeah. So 4 cups in 5 years. You don't do that. Like it just doesn't exist anymore. And like the point totals that got put up there, the duo that they were, Messier being like a pretty hard-nosed power forward guy dominating the front of the net. And then Gretzky being, the presence he was behind the net and the vision he had, they just like, you couldn't stop them. If you stopped one of them, the other one would pick up the slack. And it was just like, they won 4 cups in 5 years, 84, 85, 87, 88 with 1 year gap in the middle. And then, so Sean will know this, but Gretzky went to LA. And so he won in 89. And then Messier won with the Oilers again in 90. So they then separately both then won the cup the following 2 years after they separated as a duo. Like that, so just like a testament to the powerhouses that they were.
Gretzky didn't win it in LA. He took them to the finals in 93.
Didn't he? I thought he won in 90 there. Or
no, he didn't. In 89, they made the playoffs. I think they actually eliminated the Oilers that year.
That's what I'm thinking. I thought it was eliminated the Oilers, but I know they knocked them out.
Yeah, and then the following year is when the Oilers won again.
Oilers won in 90 for sure. But
yeah, with that kid line that had Martin Jelena on it, who was one of the guys who got traded in the Gretzky deal.
Yeah. Anyways, that's quite a combo. So, and obviously I get a shout out the ice hockey as the Canadians, but there hasn't been, a combo like that since then, or, people winning those kind of dynasty numbers in terms of championships. My other shout out that I do have to make though, and this is a US pair, is Misty May Trainer and Kerry Walsh Jennings.
Oh yeah, that was on my list.
I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if this is one that people know about, really, because it's just not a mainstream sport, but it's one that they should fucking know about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Misty May and Kerry Walsh won the beach volleyball at the Olympics, 3 Olympics in a row. And
no one's ever done it twice.
Nobody's ever repeated ever, and they repeated twice. And I think in that time they also won the world championships each of those times, which was like 2003, 2005, 2007, I think. And they won the Olympics in 04, 08, and 2012. And they just their win streak it's like unfathomable. I don't remember what the numbers are, but they didn't lose a match for years and years and years.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. The powerhouse duo that was is it doesn't, again, those sort of numbers don't exist. To just go on a casual 12-year fucking tear. Unbelievable. So that's a shout out that needs to be made.
That's the one. Actually, when I was putting my list together, my wife suggested that one.
I actually had that on my list because I'll never forget. I remember seeing them win they won the second of 3, I think in 2008. And a bunch of us, that was the year I graduated college too. A bunch of us right out of school, we're like, how hard is this beach volleyball thing? So we all went into play. Hard. And I was like, oh yeah, they make it look way easier. This is okay. I get it now.
All right. We're now to you, Tommy, for your final pick.
Final pick. It is miscellaneous. It's tough. It's tough because I had a lot on my list. I had some classics like Corona and Lime, Netflix and Chill.
That's a good one.
That's Tequila and Your Clothes Falling Off. It's also a country song, and even one that I love so much that I still is going to come in second, which was Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, how did I forget that?
But my miscellaneous goes back to something that actually it's a little bit of a family pick too, because me and my brother both loved this growing up. We had every single book. We read all the strips, everything, and it's Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
We have every Calvin and Hobbes ever that came out. We read all of it. It is, as far as comic strips go, I know the kids are probably wondering what the heck that is, but there used to be this thing called the paper, or even the Sunday paper, where it was in color. And
those are the best.
You had cartoon comic strips that came out, and Calvin and Hobbes was the cornerstone of one of the comics, of some of the comic strips, and it was one of the few that I felt like was a little bit more made for the young guys, along with Garfield and Peanuts. So Calvin and Hobbes, a boy and his pet tiger, the imagination Calvin ball. I mean,
Spaceman Spiff.
I have space zoinks. Spaceman Spiff has lost a reactor jet. I mean, it is the best. I have a photo that I got to dig up that somewhere, but there's an iconic shot of them going off a cliff in his wagon.
Yeah.
And they're just upside down, flipped up. One time in college, me and the boys went on a lake trip, and we did some rock jumping and rope swinging. And there's a picture of me and my best friend from growing up, up in space, just floating as we let go. my friend's pants are like half around his ankles, so you see his crack, and like I'm upside down, and we like someone edited them together, so like it was a Calvin and Hobbes shot, and it was awesome. It was like one of my favorite photos ever. So Calvin and Hobbes.
That's a really good one. Wow. So that was a good man. So this is the first week where I have not felt like I felt pretty good about my last two. I feel good about this one, but I mean, I would be happy with either one, any of the three of these drafts. So I'll recap really fast. So I go Han and Chewie, Burger and Fries, Jordan and Pippin, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and Hogan and Savage. Pat puts together an extremely strong list. Starts off strong with Harry and Lloyd, the White Stripes, Batman and Robin, Bacon and Eggs, and then Gretzky and Messier, 99 and 11. Tommy goes Shaq and Kobe, of course, Outcast, Wings and Beer, Doc and Marty, and Calvin and Hobbes. Wow,
man.
Pat, good job, man.
Not bad. That's like, I feel like wrestling 5 different categories was hard.
Yeah, it was. What were some of the ones you guys had that got left off? Some like honorable mentions.
Ooh, I had Jay and Silent Bob.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I had Malone and Stockton, Lemieux and Yager, Glavin and Maddox.
The best hair in the league.
Oh, they had like Yager's mullet.
The photo of them when they first like came all time.
There's one of them like back to back like this, and like their like mullets are kind of like mixing together. And it's just
it's like the Van Halen symbol.
That's like all-time hockey. Yeah, that's awesome.
The infinity mullet.
Oh god, those guys are good too.
Let's see. Ooh, I had Stockton Malone. That might have been the most complimentary.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I also had, and I thought I might get vetoed if I did it, is Bo Jackson 2 times. So Bo Jackson in football and then Bo Jackson in baseball.
Not bad. If you had Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson.
Exactly. Or in Tecmo Bowls, Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen. It was like pick your poison at that point.
Did you have Daft Punk?
I did have Daft Punk. That was my other music choice. I wasn't sure.
Right.
I was thinking about the graphic too, like Daft Punk, the 2 helmets, and how they made kind of a comeback. And I also had Florida Georgia Line for my country fans out there.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like that category was like very genre dependent.
Yeah. Steely Dan.
That's not bad.
Everyone thinks that's one person most of the time.
Like Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure if this would count, but Jay-Z and Linkin Park when they did the crossover album.
I had Beyonce and Jay-Z, and that was the one I wasn't sure about picking because I'm not, don't any of their music, but I had Simon and Garfunkel as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
But I felt like again, I'm leaving a lot of the audience out.
Yeah.
I think people are going to get mad for us not having PB&J on the list.
I was on there.
I had it on my short list.
Yeah.
But
I actually think it's a trio because the bread is involved. You don't just have those by itself, right? It's
then what? Like fucking Jay-Z and Linkin Park is like 6 people.
Yeah, that's why I didn't pick it. That's all why I left it.
I had chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, I had meat and cheese.
That's good. Coffee and donuts.
I had fries and mayonnaise.
Oh.
Wow. That's a very Canadian. It's a very Canadian one. That was like a big Canadian pick.
Okay.
I had a couple really Canadian ones that I left off.
What else?
I wasn't sure if I wanted to go full stereotype, so I went. I kind of had one for each category almost. So I had fries and mayo and food, and I had Bob and Doug McKenzie as a wild card.
I was gonna. Yes, I love that. I almost put that on too.
So they were one I had as a wild card. There's a wild card you could go like forever.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I had Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street.
That's a good one. I actually just found out Bert and Ernie were named after the cab driver and like the store owner or something like in the neighborhood that one of the riders grew up in.
Oh,
like
really?
People that he knew that he named them after.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But
I had Jules and Vincent from
from Pulp Fiction.
And Brennan Huff and Dale Dovac.
I had that one too.
Yeah,
I
almost put for movies. Like there was an era there where Chris Farley and David Spade did
that would have been good.
One.
Yeah,
I almost put them not as like they're a movie personality specifically, but just as like a comedic duo.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And then they're like Buzz and Woody. Like
that would have been good.
I felt like they're kind of like they almost like don't always play. They play off of each other sometimes against each other. Yeah, I had Satan and Saddam Hussein from South Park.
Brothers would have been a good one.
I had Cheech and Chong because my dad looks like both of them put into one. Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yep.
Rick and Morty was the one I didn't mention.
Yeah, that was a good one. I
actually polled Tiff. Like, hey, what are some good pairs for this? She gave me socks and boobs.
Nice.
I was like, that's a little too like on the nose, but I was like,
done.
Yeah.
Eyes, ears, socks, boobs. Tell me when to stop.
Yeah. Feet.
I had on sports. I thought the Williams sisters might get.
Ooh, that's a good one too, man.
That was tough because they're so dominant, separate too as individuals.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like, I don't know if they're really a pair. Like, they're more recognizable as individuals than pair. I would say.
I had the
but they just happen to be twins, so it's like.
I had the clean and jerk.
Oh, that might have won over some people.
Yeah,
that would have
been blatant pandering.
That would have been blatant pandering. Yeah. Oh man, that would.
Yeah, I feel like that's red meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have any CrossFit in this. Hey.
No.
Good. It's good. Yeah. It's good to step away.
Yep. All right. Well, that was good. We will allow people to vote. So we are now just tallying.
Yes.
Votes in the comment section of the post that will be on the Talking Elite Fitness Instagram page. Now, Pat, you can campaign all you want. We'll give you your picks and you can post that and you can say, go vote for me. That's not against the rules.
No.
And then we will announce next Friday who won.
Yes. And
or next Monday.
If you're listening, we love it. Give us your picks, what you add too, but make sure you do vote as well. Because some people
something's a little nebulous. It's like, well, Tommy would have won if he picked this, but Sean picked that.
I'm like,
well, then who won?
Like, okay, yeah. Or they're like, hey, I can't believe this wasn't on the list. Yeah. I'm like, okay, but what's your vote?
Yeah,
I love hearing it all, but make sure you drop the vote in.
Yes. Man, these are good. I think this is overall top to bottom the best draft we've had.
Yeah.
I think good stuff.
It's deep. I like these. Like you said, these kind of nebulous topics where it's like pairs, you can go like a million different ways.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Well, Pat, thank you for doing this, man. We really appreciate it. I hope you had some fun. We had a great time. And good luck. I think you put together a really solid draft. They're very impressive.
Thanks, guys. I'm feeling okay about it. Someone's got away there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You can only do what you can do.
That's right. You just can.
You guys played great out there. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. That's going to do it for today. For Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland. Be better, take care of each other, and we will talk to you next time.